think Adrian Broner is finally matured and finally ready to focus on boxing and just be?
Well, hopefully Adrian Broner. I mean, he seemed like he had the right mind the other day. Which, I mean, he was in the right mind frame the other day, and I'm happy for him.
Floyd, James Miguel came to your gym as a young professional. He said he learned so much from watching your attitudes as much as well. Do you see anything in your style or
The first seen James Miguel. The first seen some highlights of James Miguel. I never knew who James Miguel was. So one of the brothers from Floyd, it's fighting one of the real brothers. I never seen the fight. I went to the sports book. I was like, who you fighting? They said, let me get this right. They said Darrell wasn't favored. It was plus money. I was like, let me take that back. Then they was like, oh no, don't do that. I was like, why? He said, oh, that dude can fight. He won a gold medal. I was like, what? So I didn't bet, and I'm glad I didn't bet. But not taking nothing away from the Darrell brothers. It's crazy. Miguel beat one of the Darrell brothers, and Badu Jack beat the other Darrell brother. But the Darrell family is a fighting family, and the brothers both can fight also.
Your thoughts on the Triple G Danny Jacob fight that's coming up in March?
May the best man win. May the best man win. I never really was, like head over heels about Triple G. It's so crazy that when I was Pretty Boy Floyd, before I became Money Mayweather, you never heard nobody calling me out. But once I got to a certain plateau and I reached the pinnacle, you got people from, it's not even boxers calling me out. You got rappers calling me out. You got basketball players calling me out. You got football players calling me out. You got people from everywhere. You got soccer players calling me out. Only thing I want to do is just live my life, help fighters grow, and just raise my children to be the best that they can be.
Speaking of rap,
clarify then, Floyd. Obviously, you said categorically today you're not going to come back. You're 40 years old, but it contradicts what's going on the internet, where there's this constant conversation with you and Conor Mcgregor. Are you not really interested in that event?
I'm a business. I'm still a businessman.
Yeah.
I'm a businessman first, before I'm a fighter. And I spoke on the Conor McGregor situation yesterday, and it is what it is.
So you'd like to earn 100 million? That is factual, and you said you would offer him 15 million. I think it was.
It's really not about me. It's about this weekend is about Badu Jack, James Miguel, Javante, and Patrols with the Snipers. It's about them. It's about the fighters. It's not about me. I had my career. You guys interviewed me so many times. You guys interviewed my opponent so many times, and the results was always the same.
Floyd, you're a businessman. How true is the Soulja Boy Chris Brown and you being a part of that promotion? Is that real? And if so, did you hear Whack Games manager saying that fight can't happen without him being a part of it?
I spoke about that before. I'm not here to speak negative about anyone. I'm always I try to take it. Like I said before, it's always about taking something negative and making something, turn it into something positive. Those guys were talking about fighting in the streets, getting their crew, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And my slogan was this: put the gloves down and put the guns down and put the gloves on. It was about doing something positive.
How about bringing an event to the UK this year, Floyd? I know you have ambitions to do that with Eddie, and you've spoken about it.
Me and Eddie are sitting down. Again, what happened was is that it took a little longer because he had a series of events that he was putting together, and we see that all that came to fruition. And now he's ready to sit down, and the schedule is open, and we're going to make a match very soon.
Will we see you there, Floyd? Are you coming to those? Floyd come to those as well? Will you be there in the UK with them?
Of course. I got You know, I got an appearance tour in the UK coming up.
Floyd, Al Haymon was your advisor as a fighter, right? But as a promoter, do you still take a lot of advice from Al?
A lot of things that me and Al business is always personal. I mean, it's real personal and low key. You know, I spoke about Al Haymon throughout my career, and I was in different days. I will continue to speak about Al. One of the greatest people I ever met.
Shakur Stevenson helped Gervonta Davis prepare for this fight. I know you met with Shakur in Brazil. He's still
I can't say greatest people. One of the greatest persons I ever met. I'm sorry.
Shakur Stevenson?
No, I said Al. It's one of the greatest persons I ever met. But I said greatest people, and I can't say that.
I'm sorry.
You can't say greatest people. That don't make sense.
Shakur Stevenson helped prepare Gervonta Davis.
We support and we like boxing all around the world. We have an open mind. Me and my team have an open mind.
Eddie made a joke about James DeGale should be one of your fighters, and obviously you've got Ashley Fearfane ready. Have you got any thoughts on expanding over there, getting some more British fighters perhaps?
Everything takes time.
Floyd, I spoke to Tank. He said after he wins this title, he wants to unify. Can we see a build up to a super fight with him and Lomachenko or Vargas, or the other champions at 130?
First things first.
Exactly. I think these fighters need to relax. I think fighters need to relax and don't rush. And take one fight at a time.
Floyd, New York has accepted you. Obviously, this is your first promotional card here, but the whole city is excited that you're here. Do you see yourself promoting a lot of cards here in New York City?
Well, hopefully, I got to. Once I sit down with Leonard and my staff and my team, we'll communicate and see what we can come up with.
What's your favorite place to eat in New York when you're here? What's your favorite place to eat?
I'm not going to tell no one what's my favorite place to eat. Because no one can't tell that. That's private.
Floyd, any plans to visit the president-elect, Mr. Trump, like last time? I asked Leonard, he didn't know.
Well, anytime I'm doing something, it's for the good. Anytime I'm doing something, it's for the good. So, last time I was in New York, handling business, it was for the good.
He's a boxing fan, right? Trump?
I can't really say.
Can't say?
He was talking about how his faith is something that you share with him. There's a lot of boxers we've met. Faith is very important. You made that funny joke about boxing.
I think everyone in the world has their own relationship with God, even if they're atheists. When they're on their dying bed, believe me, they're saying, God, please save me. Or they're praying to a higher being to save them.
Floyd, one of the main reasons to be a promoter is also because you want to try to change the way promotions was doing in history, like trying to take advantage of boxers.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think fighters should be treated fair, and their team should be treated fair.
What's the future for Mayweather Promotions?
Only thing we can do is grow and learn. It's all about growth.
What have you learned so far? Wow, some of the biggest things that you've learned.
As a promoter?
Yes.
A lot of fighters are very ungrateful.
Why are you two words out of my mouth?
Floyd, in the past you mentioned that
fighters are very, very very ungrateful. You can get a fighter, 6-figure payday. They make money. They run through their money. They blow their money. Come back, get in advance. You give it to them. They blow that, and as soon as you tell them they got to slow down a little bit, you're the bad guy.
How do you tell a fighter when he's asking for too much money? How does Floyd tell him, listen, that's way too much. You're not worth that in a sense. At this point,
I tell them eventually. I tell them, fighters, if they ask for a certain amount of money, we have to look at their gate. If it's 1,000, 1,500 arena and only 400 people showed up, then it's obvious you can't get the money that you're asking for. You got to produce. It takes a lot. Personality, skill, being a people person, having a certain type of aura.
But you know, everybody.
You got to realize, you know, when you got guys like Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
That's once in a lifetime type fighters.
A lot of fighters ain't outgoing, outspoken like yourself. They don't have that skill. So how
this in this generation is a lot easier with social media.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier. When I was fighting, it was a lot. In the beginning, it was a lot tougher and a lot rougher.
So do you tell some of the fighters, get on social media, get on Instagram, talk pop shit? Do you tell fighters, give them that type of advice?
No. I tell fighters, do what you think's best for your career. I can give you my advice, but you're gonna do what you want to do, regardless of what I say. Some may follow, some may not, but at least I know I done my job by giving them the right advice.